Welcome to today's Scrolling Party, 29th May 2021. I'm here with Craig and Eusebio and a bad dad joke. Hey guys.
Hi Craig, hi Chris, how are you? I hope you are all sane and all safe. So welcome to this Scrolling Party. I'm a bit tired today because I was watching a very nice musical contest here in Belgium as every year, and so it has just finished a few minutes before the Scrolling Party, and I had no time to prepare my dinner, so I have ordered a pizza. And the pizza guy asked me, should I cut your pizza into 4 pieces or 6, sir? And so I answered to him, no. I'm feeling rather hungry, so you'd better cut it into 6. So let's have a party.
The death of it, man.
That's terrible. Eusebio's too tired to party.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Glad you could be here for this weekend's session. Chris, I know it's early where you are, so you may have to think about this for a minute. But my next-door neighbor is a pretty good trader. He said the economy's so bad that ExxonMobil laid off 15 congressmen. Yeah, best I could do, sorry.
It's kind of true, isn't it? It's the best democracy money can buy over there. Okay. Well, so my turn for a joke. There are none. So this week, thank you everybody for coming along. Appreciate it. It's a primer session. So after the NewsWatch this week, I'll quickly go through how to do a backup and copy of your MetaTrader platform. Your MetaTrader platform is your business. And if you don't keep some insurance for it, if something goes wrong, like your machine blows up or you have to move somewhere else, whatever.
Okay, so on Sunday we have
so little sleep. Okay.
Monitor the Aussie MI inflation gauge month after month, month over month.
Done.
And that's it for Sunday. On Monday is a bank holiday in UK and in USA. It is a Memorial Day, if I'm correct. So expect a very slow session. When the city is closed, the European session is very low activity, and with New York being closed, so we will have a dead session for the US session. So personally, I will not trade. But anyway, for the news,
muted.
Let's see. We have the Euro M3 money supply year over year all time frames. Then we will have the CAD current account all time frames.
Yep.
We have the Aussie current account all time frames too. And if you want to scroll down the calendar, the Aussie.
Oh, Aussie at the bottom.
Aussie,
okay.
Yeah. High impact, so all time frames. No, not high impact, Chris. All time frames.
Oh, okay.
No. For the Aussie current account. For the Aussie current account.
Okay. I was lumping it in with this one.
Yeah.
Because they're 3 hours apart, but okay.
All time frame. Then we have to monitor the Chinese non-manufacturing PMI. Then on Monday, then we have let's see.
Sorry.
We have a big one in red. So all impact, high impact. So the Aussie Reserve Bank of Australia rate statement and cash rate.
Yep.
Then we'll have the pound nationwide HPI month over month under H4.
Okay.
We have the Swiss GDP quarter over quarter all time frames.
Yep.
Then we will have I will monitor the Euro CPI flash estimate year over year and core CPI flash estimate year over year. I will monitor also the OPEC meetings. We will have then the CAD manufacturing PMI under H4.
Not the GDP.
Yeah, we have the GDP, so all time frames.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Then I will monitor the US dollar ISM manufacturing PMI. And then can you scroll down the calendar?
Yep. Bit more news this week, something like 120 items.
So where are we? We have then, crowd speaking. But probably nothing due to speak at an online event hosted by Politico. Politico is a newspaper, so a news website, so no important at all. Then we have Bailey speaking, due to deliver a speech titled "Building a Finance System Fit for a Clean, Resilient and Just Future" at an online home. No, not important at all. Then we have the Kiwi GDP Price Index, all time frames.
Yep.
Then we have Brainard speaking, due to speak about the economic and monetary policy outlook at a webinar hosted by the Economic Club of New York. Certainly interesting because Brainard is an important member of the Fed, but no impact here. Then we have the Aussie GDP quarter-over-quarter, all time frames. And that's it for Tuesday. There was a question by one. When you say all time frame, how would you approach this trading H4 chart in terms of entering new trades and exiting current trades? Avoid opening near the... Yeah, the 1 hour rules and the 15-30 minute rules still hold in a 4 hour time frame. And you wait a few minutes after the news to see what the news is and to see if the bias must be changed. So if it is all time frames in news, so the impact will be, in case of a big surprise, in all the time frame, and so especially in the 4 hours. So you handle the news exactly as in a 5 minute time frame, Warren. Okay, on Wednesday, what do we have?
And a bit of an addition to that, Warren, if it's marked under H4, then you don't need to worry about it for the H4 trading so much. So
indeed,
just pointing that out. I mean, it's supposed to be obvious,
so,
but yep. Go.
Okay, on Wednesday. It's a bank holiday in Italy. So what do we have else? We have the bell speaking at 5 a.m.
Okay. Testify.
Due to testify, so we have to monitor that. Yeah. Then we will have monitor the Euro-French 10-year bond auction and the GBP 10-year bond auction.
Yep.
Then we have Weidmann speaking, due to deliver a speech titled "Climate Risk, Financial Market and Central Banks Risk Management." No, I will ignore that. I will monitor the US dollar beige book.
Okay.
Then we have Bostic and Evans speaking from the Fed. Participate in a panel discussion, let's forget. Panel discussion, let's forget, it's the same panel discussion. Then we will have the Aussie trade balance all time frames. And then monitor the Chinese cash-in services PMI and the 10-year bond auction for the yen.
Okay, scrolling.
Yeah. So on Thursday, we will have the US dollar ADP non-farm employment change under H4. I will still continue to monitor the US dollar unemployment claims.
Yep.
I will monitor also the US dollar ISM services PMI.
Okay.
Monitor the natural gas storage and crude oil inventories.
Yep.
And then we have another lot of people speaking Bailey, Bostic, and Quarles again.
Okay.
So due to the speech title, How in Practice Can the Financial Sector Take Immediate Action Against Climate Change-Related Risks? So not important at all for the moment. Bostic opening remarks at an online book launching, oh, not important at all. And Quarles about financial regulation at an online conference co-hosted by the security industry, no, not important at all. Bailey has spoken, no, it was not Bailey, it was Vlieg has spoken Thursday, and this has created a complete shift in the market sentiment for the pound. It was really interesting to see. On Friday, we have Jordan speaking from the Swiss National Bank.
Where is he? Jordan, here we are.
At 3 a.m., yeah.
Again. Yep.
Panel discussion, let's forget. We have Orr speaking. Panel discussion, let's forget. We have the pound construction PMI under H4. I will completely ignore the G7 meetings. We have Christine Lagarde speaking. Panel discussion, let's forget. We have Powell speaking. Oh, they have a lot of time to spend in discussing. So panel discussion, let's forget. Then we have the CAD, employment change and unemployment rate. It is the equivalent of the non-farm payroll. So not a high impact for the CAD because the CAD is a smaller currency, but all time frames. And then the high impact for the US dollar, average hourly earnings month over month, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate.
Okay, and I've added an extra line for the
revision 2 minutes later, yeah.
Yep.
And then we have nothing else.
Okay, what just chimed? Something chimed on my side of things. Okay, and that's it. So the idea is that, okay, hey Nathan. Okay, so the idea of going through this is to avoid times of volatility. So if something's marked with all time frames, then it doesn't matter what time frame you're trading. For instance, Warren's H4 or daily chart, then get out of the trades. Yep, it applies to all the time frames. Anything that marked under H4 applies to the smaller time frames, like the anything from H1 below, and or shorter than that. The monitors you don't need to worry about so much. They're interesting to look at if you're trading futures and stuff like that. They can be of interest. I noticed that there's a lot of, and it has been appearing over the past few weeks as well, a lot of information, a lot of discussion about climate change and how it's affecting the finance markets and how they can adapt to it. So, yep, okay. Climate change is important. We're noticing a lot of changes here in New Zealand. Okay, right, okay. The idea is that if you're marked with all time frames are under H4, then within 1 hour before, do not place any entries before within 1 hour of the news coming out. Otherwise, you could get hit with volatility. And exit out of the trade within half an hour of the news coming out, again, because of volatility. You don't know which way the market's going to go. It used to be really important to follow that. These days, if you've been listening to Eusebi through the scoring parties, if you've got some idea on the underlying global context, sentiment of the market, perhaps you can stay in if there's been some really bad news prior and you think something is going to be shorted or going to go down, or there's been some really good news and it's going to keep pushing things up, then perhaps you can stay in, but with a less order size, less risk on your trade. Warren, I'm trying to decide which time frame to practice first. I'm thinking M30 or H4.
Warren, it depends on your own time constraints. Have you another job, a normal job, a 9-5 job?
Yeah, it's better.
Or have you the possibility to trade full time?
It's better to practice in the time frame that you're going to be trading in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll get patterns, and then when you start trying to trade live, you've sort of got to unlearn some patterns and relearn things. Okay.
So you work from home, but when you work for your company, you have to dedicate to your job, and so for me it's the same thing as if you were working in a factory or in an office outside your home. So for me, try to use a higher time frame. So for example, H4. Then, if working at home seems an ideal way to dedicate some time to trading, because you still have to dedicate a lot of time to your work, then try perhaps the 1 hour. So begin with the 4 hours and then switch down to the 1 hour when you will feel much more comfortable. The 1 hour time frame is really a nice time frame.
Okay, and go a bit slower to start with so that you've got plenty of time to analyze and look at the charts. I know you'll have plenty if you're doing the 1 hour or the H4, but if you're working through, if you've got another job on at the same time, I find that I can't do 2 jobs at once. I'm either, say, trading, or I'm doing homework, or I'm messing around with something else. And yeah, I just don't have the bandwidth to chop and change these days as much anymore. Plus, in the old days, I thought I could, but I still didn't, and I would miss out on stuff. So with the trading, you do have to be kind of dedicated to it. The higher time frames, you don't need to worry about news so much, which is good. But it is completely different because your trades will take longer and will go through the night. So you have to set up other bells and alarms and whistles to warn you of situations that are occurring where you might have to take some sort of action. For instance, if you're trading through the middle of the night and you get a long bar in either direction, you have to take action straight away. It's not like you can just come back to the charts every 4 hours and decide. Okay. Hey, Roger. Is the difference in terms of exiting it by the end of day?
No, with H1 and H4, you don't have to consider the end of the day. So a trade in the H1 or H4 can overlap several days.